His name was Sven. When he arrived in the village, he was bloodied, half-naked, wide-eyed and rambling about bugs and white fire. The priestess took him in for the night and did her best to feed him, but he refused to eat. After sundown, his ramblings became louder and less coherent, as she helped him to bed and covered him in a blanket. She bid him good night, but his fingers clamped down painfully on her arm, and he stared her in the eye.
"Terror! Brews! In Sunhall!"
Terrified, she pried his hand off her arm and fled the room, screaming. Nobody else dared approach him all night. In the morning, Sven was gone. No disturbances were reported. All he left behind was the bruise on the priestess's arm and a charred corpse still curled up beneath an unburnt blanket. Welcome, new flesh, to the Garlax Chronicle. It begins, as many stories do, with a place. An old dirt road winds its way between prairie hills, cutting a swath through tall, tanned grasses like an old scar on the scalp of the earth. A starving mouse pauses in a wagon rut to chew on a grain it had won from a stray wheat stalk. The surrounding grasses wave in the frigid autumn breeze, bidding the rodent a premature farewell. Enthralled with its meal, the mouse doesn't hear the approaching sound of hooves and squeaking wheels growing louder and closer until the sound is almost deafening. A chill sets into the air, and the whole world turns orange with the light of the setting sun. The horse-drawn cart trundles along, mindlessly following the single path available to it. Sitting within are 3 people, all of them blissfully unaware of the fresh stain on the wheel. The driver is a well-dressed dwarf with a short black beard and a worn leather drifter's hat. He attempts to whistle to pass the time. This man's name is Garlax. The other 2 riders sit in the back of the wagon, which bounces along uncomfortably. With every breath, a cloud of moisture floats away as the chill of winter threatens to set in early. Tara. As you flex against the encroaching cold, the vibrations of the cart begin to bruise your already sore tailbone. Matreyi, please describe what your character looks like and what they're doing to pass the time.
Tara is Tarabai, short for Tara, short for Tarabai, and she's a very muscly, very thick half-orc, and she's got a black mohawk with red ends just on the front, and she is just kind of rubbing her arms because she's got these sleeveless vestments on, so trying to keep away the cold and not doing too good of a job. And what she's been doing to pass the time is just polishing the edge of her glaive with a practiced meditation.
Ermin. The tips of your ears are beginning to go numb with cold. As you sniffle in the dry air, you taste the beginning of a bloody nose in the back of your throat. Alex, please describe what your character looks like and what they are doing to pass the time.
You see an old, lanky, pot-bellied furbolg with shoulder-length, dreaded strands of white hair that leave noticeable bald patches around the crown of his head. Altogether, this creature looks a bit sickly as he draws breath in through his yellowed teeth from a red-hot smoke stick now pursed in his lips. He smirks while exhaling his poisonous habit and strumming poorly with a dagger across the dissonant strings of his lute, creating a bone-chilling aura to match his ragged attire. Looking upwards as the foul fumes disperse into the cool air, he scribbles something into a book he keeps at his side and cackles, mused to himself.
Garlax's whistling for the last half hour has been clashing with Ermin's badly tuned lute, and he finally gives up and shouts back to you.
So I have to ask, why are you two going to Sunhall? Nobody knows anything about it. Messenger birds don't come back, and neither do people, as far as I know. In fact, a guy in the last town said he's not sure Sunhall's even in the right place on my map. You guys running from something? Trying to get lost?
No, sir, not at all. I'm just a peddler of stories, and I'm looking for a new place to find some.
And me, I'm a peddler of muscles. Places like this usually have some kind of protection needed.
Well, I gotta say, just having you along for the ride makes me feel a bit better. And you, Ermin, was it?
Just to clarify here, Tara has 6 charisma.
So, Ermin, you said you're looking for stories, right? Well, I'll tell you one. I'm going to Sunhall to get lost myself. Hopefully nobody's gonna be able to find me. Last time, they came to collect my debt. They cut off the tip of my tongue. I'm not looking forward to whatever they're about to do next. So, off I go.
Well, for a place I've never heard of, sounds like a good place to get lost.
Yeah, you two all right if we, pick up another one?
And Garlax at this point points ahead, and you can see a lone figure standing in the grass just along the side of the road.
All the more the merrier.
Sure.
As you approach the figure, Garlax sort of pulls the horse to a stop. And AJ, would you like to please describe your character?
Yeah, this is not too tall, not too strong looking, or, too skinny. She's rather medium, and she's wearing, basically things you could find in nature, buckskin, leaves, furs. She looks a little tired, and her dark skin has her cheeks kind of blushing blue, and her ears blue from hanging, through her long black hair. And she's walking with a stick, and she looks a bit tired, and she's like, "You're taking one more?"
If you're looking for a ride, are you going to Sunhall?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
And I go and walk up.
As Thistle climbs into the cart, Garlax continues and snaps the reins, and the horse starts walking again.
I don't think Sunhall has had this many visitors at once in years, if what I've heard is supposed to be true.
What have you heard?
Well, there's been rumors of disappearances. People going there and not coming back, leaving their families behind. And everybody that goes to investigate disappears as well. But it's so small and out of the way that nobody wanted to find out why, really.
That's right up your alley if you're looking to get lost. But
Yeah.
I myself hope to carry some new stories out. Maybe I'll be joined by these two if we see tomorrow.
Place
Tara.
like this, like I said, always have some coin to make.
Tara, you notice that as you glance back at Ermin to look at him as he talks and strums his lute, you notice that there's not really a path behind you. Like, you can sort of see it if you look hard enough, but you turn around and you look forward and it's a very clear, like, it's not paved, but there are very clear wagon ruts for the cart to follow.
Huh. Anyone else? Garlax, have we been following a road?
Well, yeah. What do you think this is? He points ahead of him.
Well, where'd it go?
What do you mean?
He turns around.
I mean, it's
Well,
gone.
It's right there.
No one. Am I? No, how would I? Like, no, there's no road behind us.
Oh, yeah, there is. I mean, maybe the grass fell over or something, but you can sort of see it.
Thistle, Ermin. Do you see a road?
Do I see it?
You two are seeing about the same thing that Tara is seeing.
How do we know we're going the right way if you're not even following a road?
I don't see one behind us either, but I suppose we're only going forward anyways. And he begins to kind of chuckle to himself. He pulls his book up and begins kind of scribbling in it while he kind of grins.
Thistle stares at him like he's a freak.
He is.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably look ahead to see if there is a path or.
Yeah, ahead of you there is, a very clear road that the horse pulling the cart is following. It sort of winds between the hills. And as it continues onward and rounds another hill, you can see this sort of low brick wall. Looks like a part of an old ruin along one side. And as it passes, you can see the top of a head just on the other side of the wall. And you can see a figure stand up, and you see a skinny old man with thick sideburns and no other facial hair. He's wearing ragged clothing. Looks like it has dry blood stains on it, and holes either cut or torn. And he's sort of clutching the side of his ribs, and he sort of hobbles into the front of the road with this panicked look on his face.
Wait! 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 Wait for me!
Garlax, sir, are you well?
Yeah, I'm not one to turn away someone that looks like they're that much in need. Can we help you, friend?
Water! Please, some water!
Tarvide looks over to Ermin and sort of beseeching, like, I've got some rations, but
I'll trade you water for a tail.
Sure, just, oh, I'm so parched. I need water.
Assuming I would have like a little bit of water on me, I'll give him some. I'll spare some.
All right, so you sort of hop out of the cart, and he's comes around to the side, and gratefully takes it. Oh, thank you so much, thank you. And he lifts the water skin to his lips and tilts it up, and suddenly you hear a and as he starts to drink the water skin, you can see none of the water goes down his throat. All of it comes out of a freshly cut slit across, and all the water and blood just as he continues to gulp, 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 and he falls over backwards onto the ground, and you hear a and you all turn around and you can see a jumping out of the grass on both sides, two gnolls, two huge hyena-like people that look wide-eyed, bloodshot eyes, and they're sort of drooling at the mouths, and they both take out swords and say, "Fresh meat!" And I'd like everyone to please roll initiative.
Amazing.
9 hells! Ooh. Let me know when you're ready for it.
Yeah.
All right, 25 to 20. Uh, 15 to 20.
18.
18 is
18.
well.
Get out of
Whoa, no way! Are you serious? Did seriously everyone get an 18?
I rolled a 14 plus 4.
I got a 17 plus 1.
I have a 19 minus 1.
God.
I don't think this has ever happened in my entire. I've never seen this.
This is
What's
crazy.
teamwork?
Probably the last.
Man, this is wild.
Let the gods shine upon us.
So then, if judging by your bonuses, that'll be Ermin, then Tara, then Thistle, and then the rest of them. Okay. Up first is Garlax with a 21.
All right, Garlax.
Garlax, you can hear him, "Oh, 9 hells!" And he pulls out a crossbow and fires at one of them. Let's see, that is actually going to miss, as it hits up and hits the ground between the gnoll's feet and kicks up a bit of dirt, and he says, "God," and starts to reload, still sitting down in the driver's seat. Next up is Ermin.
So I know one arrow sounded like flew across the guy's throat. Do the gnolls look armed with arrows, or they have like melee weapons?
I'll let you do a perception check for free.
$11.
You know that they're wielding swords, and that's about all you're worried about right now.
Fair enough. Then I will swiftly, as I kind of like stumble backwards from being startled by this terrible display of gore right in front of me, pull out my lute and take the dagger that I've been strumming it with and actually pluck it against one of the strings. As it pops, a very dissonant sound flies out of it in the direction of I guess the gnoll on the side of the cart that I'm on.
Okay.
It's going to be dissonant whispers that I'm casting.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it needs to make a wisdom save.
Gnolls are not the wisest of creatures, and I assume he fails with a 10.
He does fail. So he's going to take 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from us.
So as Ermin plucks his lute louder than you've heard him pluck it so far, you can see the gnoll that shouted out that he's hungry. Suddenly his face goes from this Joker-like smile to a thespian mask of fear, and he spins around, and as he's yipping, he just starts sprinting backwards into the grass.
And it'll be 10 psychic damage.
Okay.
I kind of like keep the loot ready and put my dagger back to one of the next strings. I'll stay put where I'm at.
Okay. Next up is Tara.
Do you count diagonal movement as 5 or 10?
Games I run are run in non-Euclidean space, so diagonal counts as 1 or 5 feet.
In that case, I'm able to. I just pre-counted, so I'm just gonna move ahead, and I can get up to right here. Actually, no, I can get up to right here, with this dude, and that's my full movement. And I'm gonna take a swing with my glaive, and see what kind of damage we can do. Sorry, give me a second. That is a 17 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Sweet. And that is 8 slashing.
So the gnoll that began to run away from the dissonant whispers gets about 2 steps before Tara, lightning fast, leaps out of the cart and in maybe 3 or 4 strides is there and just brings the glaive slashing down across this thing's back, and it and falls to the ground, not moving.
Fantastic. Can I think I have a bonus action. Sorry, just give me. I have not played a fighter before at this level, so bear with me.
No worries.
Oh no,
And
it's not a light main. I would have a second attack if it was a light melee weapon, but it's not. It's a heavy. So I don't have anything else I can do in this one.
Okay. Then it is Thistle's turn.
How far away am I from the other gnoll?
You are 30 feet away.
Awesome. So I'm gonna hop dramatically up on the cart and summon my thorn whip and whip at it at the other gnoll, and I make an attack roll.
I think that's a melee magic attack roll.
Yeah. That would be, I think I have a plus. Oh, 21.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Yeah, okay. So it takes 1d6 damage. Is the creature large or smaller than me?
It is very tall. It's hunched over and about 6.5, 7 feet tall, but it is still considered medium.
And I'm considered medium.
Yes.
So it's the same. I don't know. I think I pull it 10 feet closer.
Oh yeah, from Thorn Whip. Yes, you do.
Yeah, and it takes 3 damage.
Okay.
And then okay, so I did a spell. I have a bonus action, right? Can I attack with it? Or no?
It depends on what the bonus action is. You can't do a weapon attack with it.
Yeah, I can't reach. Maybe I'll just jump down off the cart.
Okay.
To get ready to fight this thing more.
So after jumping up onto the cart, you snap your fingers at your side, and suddenly a whip appears. And as you lash it towards it, the whip triples in length and wraps around the gnoll's neck and yanks him forward. And as it undoes itself from around his throat, you can see it leaves a couple of scratches. And that is Thistle's turn. And now the ambushers finally get to go. Let's see. The archers that you didn't see earlier finally reveal themselves. One is behind this log, and the other is behind this rock. Both slightly, one all the way to the left and one to the right and slightly behind you. And both of them shoot arrows, aiming for the horse. And both arrows land on either side of the horse's neck, and you can hear the horse. The horse scream is loud, and you can hear it echoing off of the nearby hills as it suddenly plunges forward, moves forward about 10 feet, and then just falls to the ground and starts twitching. Still wrapped up in the bridle that is attaching it to the cart. All of you are out of the cart, though, so only Garlax is going to have to make this dex save to... And he does. He manages to, hold on to his seat as the cart lurches forward a bit. The bigger gnoll or the closer gnoll is going to approach Thistle. And drawing a blade is going to slash at you twice. Ooh. That is a 23 and a 24 to hit.
A 23 and a 24?
Yes.
Is that right?
Unfortunately, yes, you did.
Both hit, I believe. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That is going to be 17 points of slashing damage.
Alrighty. Thank you.
And he is going to bark out. And eyes getting wider and wilder. One of the archer gnolls is going to start leap over the tree trunk and start sprinting toward the cart. He can't actually get there, though. Next is Garlax again. Finally, I need a better crossbow than this. As he finally reloads it, he spins around in his seat, standing up now, and takes a shot at the one that was attacking Thistle. And he misses again. This one just goes wide to the right and in the tree behind them. He says, "God!" And he throws the crossbow down and pulls out a dagger. But that's the end of his turn, and he's going to stay in the cart. Next is Ermin.
So seeing my new friend get hit a couple times by this gnoll, I'm going to climb back onto the cart, kick a leg up over the edge on the other side, lean around her, and just sort of say to the gnoll, "You ever heard the story of the kid that fell into the well? It didn't end well." And cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Wisdom save, right?
Yes.
I failed my wisdom saving because that was hilarious.
Nice.
I'm good for at least a couple dad jokes each session. Try to lighten the mood if I can.
Man.
And suddenly this horrifying dog creature towering above Thistle looks up at you, and you land this joke, and he... and in true Lion King fashion, he rolls over and starts laughing, kicking in the air. And he's incapacitated, right?
Yes, incapacitated and falls prone. Yep.
Okay, does he take damage?
No damage.
Okay. So he is incapacitated and prone.
He can remake the save at the end of each of his turns, and each time it takes damage.
Okay. Moving on to Tara. The archer knoll that sprinted towards you is well within reach.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go up to him. Do you do split movement? So like...
Yes, you can move, attack, and then finish your move.
Great. Cool. So I'm gonna move and I'm going to attack with my glaive because that's what I do. Get the hell out of here. Natural 20 for 25. What the hell?
Yes.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. Let me roll for crit damage. And that is 15.
15. As this knoll is running by you, you sort of after slaying the first one, you see the second coming towards you, and you hide behind the rock for a second, and you hear him get to just the right point, and you step out and just baseball swing your glaive and just lop his head clean off.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, I will take the rest of my movement. I'd move 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. Actually, I'm sorry. I'll move here.
Okay. Next is Thistle. Ermin on the cart behind you, and the knoll in front of you still cackling at his joke on the ground.
Right. Well, I kind of asked for this, but I'm gonna lift up my stick and just whap him. You're not a nice doggy.
Go ahead and make your attack roll with advantage because he's prone.
Oh, yeah, he's prone. Thanks. Okay. What's my stick? Okay. 16?
16 will hit.
Okay, and then its damage is I guess I'd do my staff. Yeah. Okay. Oh! Okay, that would be 11 for damage. That's top damage.
Nice. You take your staff and you whack right between his legs, and he and falls over, rolls over again onto the ground. But he seems like he's able to take much more of a beating than the other gnolls are.
He does also get advantage on his save since damage triggered it.
Okay.
I have to read that part out.
So he makes a save now?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 14?
Nope.
Oh! Okay, roll damage.
Well, it's her damage that triggered it, basically. Yeah. So
right.
I mean,
but every time he makes a save, it takes more damage, right?
No, it's just the effect stays on.
Oh, okay. Okay, I understand now. All right. Do you want to move? Technically, he would get an attack of opportunity, but he's prone. Oh, you have something else.
Yeah, I want to use my bonus action to give me and Ermin 1d6 temp hit points.
Oh, so you're taking the help
Another
action.
3. Yeah.
Um,
I can do it
so
for a bonus action.
what are you helping Ermin with?
I guess I will. He's right behind me, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. I guess I'll help him with his look, and Druid craft some flowers for him.
So you, real quick, I'll allow that. Technically, Druidcraft is an action, but I'm 100% allowing this. You just create some flowers along the top of his lute, and you turn up to Ermin and smile at him. And Ermin, as you see this, you can see some little tiny sharp fangs peeking out from Thistle's smile.
Okay. Ermin kind of like looks at that and looks at the loot and is like, these will be nice when they're dead.
And you get 3 temp hit points, 3 HP of temporary hit points.
Much obliged.
All right.
That's the end. I'm not gonna move.
The next is the Knoll. And he gets another save now, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Natural 20. About
Okay, yeah,
freaking
save
time.
Might be. Let me double check. It might be at the end of his turn, but let me see. It is at the end of his turn. At the end of
Okay, so he wastes a turn. He says, "Ha ha! That wasn't funny." The archer Knoll in the back, though, is definitely going to take a shot at you, Ermin. I'm going to go ahead and assume a 9 misses.
A 9 does miss, yes. But
and so
Ermin
as
is
you're
unsettled.
as you look down at the Knoll that is no longer laughing, you hear another brrr and look down, and about 2 inches below your foot is another arrow. And you look over to the rock at the Knoll who's taking another one and drawing his bow again. That's their turn. Next up is Garlax, who is going to he's actually just gonna sort of, you know what? You guys look like you've got this. And he is going to hop off the cart the other direction. And that brings us back to Ermin.
Ermin's gonna look over at Garlax and be like, I would imagine this would give us some sort of discount, by the way.
Of course! Of course! Just get rid of him!
In that case, Ermin is going to hop out of the cart just out the back, so he's just to where he's in range of the archer, and he's going to pluck his lute again and fire off another dissonant whispers at the archer over there.
At the archer? What's the range on Dissonant Whispers?
It is 60. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
wow.
move it.
Okay. Yeah, you're within range. And this Knoll appears to be slightly wiser than the others with a 19.
So he definitely saves.
You got anything else with movement bonus action?
I will go ahead and look over to Tara and be like, well, that's all I've got. He's all yours. And I'm going to give you a bardic inspiration.
Yes. So, is this dude still up and menacing?
Well, technically, no. He is still on the ground, but he is no longer laughing, so he's going to have his full turn next time.
Okay, so I am going to move to him. Is he prone?
He's still prone, yes.
Okay, I'm going to attack him then with advantage because he's prone and fuck that guy.
Oh.
Okay, that is a dirty 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Sweet. 8 slashing.
Another 8 slashing. You bring your glaives down towards him, and he rolls out of the way, but not quickly enough as you open a gash, cutting into his armor, and you can see a little bit of blood come out.
Amazing. I have 5 more field movements. I'm going to take it in that direction, towards the one that's left.
Okay, we're going to assume, because glaives have a reach of 10 feet, I believe, and moving into range and then out of range, he would get an attack of opportunity. So I'm just going to assume you never got in melee with him.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Tara would have known that even if my 3 didn't.
No, I figured I'm gifting Tara with my 8 years of running fighters.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. No, she's smart. She's done this kind of thing before.
Amazing. Thank you. One of us should have.
Next is the big bad Knoll, who is going to get up. No longer prone. And he is going to again go this time looking towards the other archer, and the archer is going to throw down his bow and start sprinting into the fray. Cannot quite get to you guys though. And he is going to let's see what I know. No, pack lords don't have a whole lot of options, but yeah, it's going to move between Thistle and Tara, and is going to make an attack against each of you. Against Thistle, that is a 21. And you take 9 points of slashing damage. And against Tara, that is a natural 1. So as he runs between you two, takes a swipe at Thistle, says, "Ha!" and then takes another swipe at Tara, and it just glances off of her armor. Ha! Oh! And is going to continue running around Tara to his ally. And Thistle, you get an attack of opportunity with your staff.
Do I also get one or no?
Okay. That'd be over 20. It'd be like a 23.
Yep, that'll hit. He made a poor decision.
That would put us at a 10 for damage.
Ooh, very poor decision. He is not looking good. And then it is Garlax's turn.
Are they gone yet? I'll give you a discount. I promise.
And that's his turn. Ermin, you're next.
We're working on it. I'm gonna go ahead and on the pack leader, I'm gonna ask him. I wonder, do your knoll nuts still hurt a bit from that last one? And cast vicious mockery on him.
Okay. Another wisdom save, right?
Yes.
5. His without thinking about it, his hand kind of goes down to his groin, and he growls at you, and he is visibly and thoroughly insulted.
He takes 2 points of psychic damage and has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
All right. Because one of his hands is occupied. Next is Tara.
I'm gonna take a swing at the guy in front of me.
Okay.
The out is a 23 to hit. And you know what? I was going to comment on my rolls, but it's going to jinx it if I do. So I'm not going to talk about how I'm feeling about my rolls right now. Because that will ruin it. That's a 9 slashing.
9. Ooh. With your glaive, you expertly twirl it around your head and bring it down and cut him again, shoulder to hip. Cutting through a bunch of different bands and straps on his armor, and pieces of it just start of like fall loose and just expose his furry underside. Bonus action movement.
I'm not gonna use either right now.
All right. Next is Thistle.
Yeah. Can I throw a 5-foot diameter spell in between these guys and hit both of them, or no?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Flaming Sphere then.
Ooh, all right.
So, lean forward, put my hand out, and some motes of orange leave my fingertips and land, and a little fire starts to burn in the grass, and then it begins to swirl and go upward into kind of a flame tornado and encircle them.
All right. They make dex saves, I believe.
Yeah, dex.
The Pack Lord succeeds with a 19, and the Pack Goon gets a 15.
15. Let me see. My spell save. That makes it.
So they both succeed, but I believe they both still take
half.
damage.
Yeah. Okay, that's 4 damage. Yeah.
4 damage. Okay.
And I'll just keep the flaming sphere there for now.
Let's use... I'm trying to find a good icon for it. Let's use this bag of money, because that attack was money.
Oh, thanks.
All right. After Thistle is the Gnolls again, and they are going to attack the target in front of them. So first one gets 2 attacks. That is a 21 and a 17.
Is the first one the
oh, you're right.
yeah,
In that case,
one of those would have
yes.
disadvantage.
I'm just gonna re-roll then. First attack with disadvantage. Yeah, 2.
No, sir.
But the second attack does not have disadvantage. Straight roll. 10.
Awesome.
All right. Going from both hitting to both missing. But he is going to... Ooh, does he get his Incite Rampage? He does! He got his Incite Rampage back. So he is going to command this other Gnoll to, again, move, and this time take a bite attack. With gnashing, drooling jaws, he's going to lunge for Tara's throat. And that is a, I don't know, 15 to hit.
Just misses.
And you shy away just enough, and his teeth get caught in your chainmail, and he sort of yanks his mouth out. But now it is his actual turn, and he will get a normal spear attack on you. He gets a 6. Tara's just this. Has not even. Have you taken damage yet?
I have not.
You're getting really lucky right now. Don't.
Yes.
I'm not commenting on it. I refuse to comment on it because that'll jinx it.
I'll say this pack leader is also going to move out of the mini fire tornado that was like on top of him. So that's a thing. That's their turn. Back to the top. Garlax. 6 seconds later. How about now? Are they still there? And Ermin.
Yeah, best I can tell. I'm gonna do another vicious mockery on the big guy. Try and get him again. Though I don't know what else I can make fun of. Maybe let him know his straps are untied. The ones that just got slashed through.
All right. Wisdom saving throw of natural 20.
He is going to save and take no damage. And seeing them grow a bit wiser to my antics, I'm gonna take that as my cue to sit behind the cart and take a little bit of cover.
So after, you're usually so good at insults, but after, tripping over your words and fumbling, trying to insult both his straps and his teeth in the same go, it doesn't work out, and he barely understands you, and you decide to take a breather.
Yeah.
Tara.
I'm just gonna take a swing at the one. Actually, which one looks more hurt? I'm gonna take a swing at whichever one looks more hurt.
The pack leader definitely has more wounds.
Okay, I'm gonna try and finish them off then.
Okay.
Probably doesn't hit with a 13.
No.
Then that is my turn.
All right. The instant someone commented on it, your luck is beginning to run out.
I know.
I'm sorry.
All right. After Tara is Thistle.
I am just going to move my flaming sphere. Which one's more hurt?
The Pack Lord has more wounds.
I don't know which one that is. Not the archer, right? That one.
Yes, that one.
I'll keep it there to infurl him a little bit.
So he makes another dex save.
Yeah.
And he succeeds with a 19.
Takes 3 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, fuck, really?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll just move my hand over a little bit to move the flame, push it in the way that catches on the wind, and with kind of some of the dirt going in the wind and the grass, it catches on him and starts to get on all his blood and his fur and just quickly bury inside his wounds and kind of burn him from the inside out. And
So
Tara gets a little flame in her face.
So as you move this tornado over, it catches with all the rest of the dry grass in the fashion of the plains that you understand, and it grows taller and taller, and you sort of bend it down, and as he looks up, you bring it straight down into his gullet, and you can see him start to glow from the inside out as his eyes begin to glow red, and his mouth just bursts of flame, and you can see him just like suddenly the light goes out, and he's smoking from the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and he collapses to the ground. And technically your fire is still alive, so there's like a couple sparks that are starting up a new fire in the grass next to the body.
Yeah, so that was a bonus action. So I could still do an action. Can I do a cantrip with my action or no?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So I will then thorn whip the other guy. If I can.
Yeah, go ahead, make your spell attack.
Oh, I make an attack. That would put us at a 16? No, 17?
That will hit.
Okay, so I thorn whip him and just throw him into my fire.
Unfortunately with Thorn Whip, you can't throw them sideways, you have to pull them towards you.
Oh, brutal.
Okay, well, I'll pull him 10 feet. It's 10 feet towards me, and he'll take 1d6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
3.
And you pull him as you wrap it around the Thorn Whip around his bow arm and yank him closer. You pull him directly between you and Tara so that he is flanked. Unfortunately,
do I get an attack of opportunity as he whips past me?
No, he didn't leave melee, and force movement doesn't give attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't hurt that odd.
Nice try. And unfortunately, it is also his turn. His leader is dead, and so are all of his friends. So he is going to disengage and sprint back from the way you all came. 10, 20, 30, and that's as far as he can get. So as he gets yanked towards you, he's like, no, and as it like rips some of his fur off, his hand starts bleeding, and he just like stumbles backward and jumps out of the way and turns around and starts running as fast as he can. He did disengage though, so no attacks of opportunity. He's smarter than his boss, it seems.
Let's forget that. Disengage is that.
Next up is Garlax, and he is going to peek above the seat and aim his crossbow very carefully at this guy. And he is finally going to hit with a 23. And the crossbow bolt lands right at the base of the gnoll's skull. And you see this, and it just, a dust cloud erupts as the gnoll falls down dead.
Nice shot, Garlax.
Well, since I gave you all so much help, I don't think any discount is necessary.
You helped at the very end.
That's right, I did. And besides, I have to walk the rest of the way too.
And he looks at the horse that is stopped twitching now and is just lying in a pool of its own blood.
Oh no, the horse is dead.
I suppose there's no use in beating a dead horse. So.
It's okay, it was a rental.
This fight turns out Tara chuckles a little.
So, on foot then?
Yes, do you need help carrying anything from the cart?
Nope.
And he reaches it over, grabs a sack and like lumps it over his shoulder and says,
I'm all set.
Onward we go. And Tara will throw glaive on her shoulder and I'll bring up the rear.
I was
Ermin
about to
can
ask,
pull his-
what is the marching order?
Ermin will either be at the back or in the middle, if
Doris is
depending
gonna
on
be
where everyone else
at
is.
the back.
Okay. Ermin in the middle, Thistle and
Yeah, I could be in the
Garlax.
middle too.
Okay,
They
Garlax
go
will lead the
front,
way
I
then.
guess.
I will ask Tara, as you're in back, make a perception check to keep out for more gnolls that are following you. Thistle, as you're towards the front, go ahead and make a perception check for whatever is in front of you. Ermin, do you want to also keep a lookout, or do you want to do something else while you walk?
I would be doing Ermin a disservice if I said he was doing anything other than scribbling down more writings in his book after this whole encounter. So
Garlax looks over his shoulder at Ermin and says, "What's in the book?"
just a compilation of tales I've picked up from around, factual tales of creatures that go bump in the night. I figure might be good to document our most recent run-in.
Ah, don't forget my heroic final shot.
Oh, I definitely won't. He definitely will.
Tara, what was your perception check?
That was a 13.
Okay. And Thistle, what was yours?
I got a 16.
You all continue walking further and further. As the sun continues to set, you begin to worry whether or not you're going to get to the town with daylight left. Tara, you notice, now that you're actually looking around on purpose, looking for like wildlife or threats, you begin to notice that, yeah, there is plenty of wildlife here. You actually see a family of deer off in the distance, like cresting a hill. You see a couple of mice scurry around in the bushes as you guys pass them. But after a bit, you start to notice that the deer were walking in the opposite direction that you were. So were the mice. You look up into the sky, and so were the birds. They're all going in the opposite direction that you guys are walking. Thistle. As you all walk toward a setting sun that turns the whole world the same shade of orange, the grasses on either side of the road give way to tilled earth, and the village of Sunhall finally comes into view. 24 wooden structures appear on the horizon, stuck into the ground like grave markers. Farmhouses and barns dot the surrounding landscape. A lone tree just outside the town is eerily silhouetted against the sun. You might think it beautiful, if not... You might think the tree beautiful, if not for the charred doll pinned to the trunk by a bent nail. With the last blood-red light of the setting sun, you finally enter the quiet town. Everything is still as stone, as if frozen in time. The only noise comes from your footsteps and the closing of the last market stall just across the town square. You can still see the shopkeeper walking away from the stall, sort of towards you, but not directly.
Um, I'll kind of call his attention as he is walking by us, and uh, hey there, we're a bit new in town. You know any
Oh!
uh,
Oh dear! And the figure comes into better view as they're closer to you. And as the figure jumps, the hood falls down, and you see it's actually an old woman. Oh! Oh dear, you done spooked me good. Welcome to Sunhall. Weary travelers, what are your names?
Well, I'm Ermin. Much obliged, ma'am. I appreciate the warm welcome, and I apologize for spooking you. That usually comes later.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you know where you're staying? We don't really have an inn, just a tavern. We do have an extra house if the three of you are traveling together. Sorry, four of you. Looks down at Garlax.
Yes, I think for the time being we are. Tara kind of looks around.
Why do you have an extra house?
Oh, we recently had a tenant leave town. He had some business elsewhere and left his house for sale, but we haven't had any new people come in to claim it. So I guess you could stay there for the night.
I think I will, but I did, hear on my way in that not many people leave this fair settlement for reasons you keep to yourself.
Oh, well, why would they? It's such a nice place.
Nice indeed.
I'm sorry, I don't think I got your names.
I'm Ermin.
I'm Tara. Sorry, I didn't want to take over this if she was going.
I'm Thistle, and our roof is the same as outside.
Well, I'm Garlax, and I disagree heartily with that sentiment. I would much prefer a roof over my head.
Oh, well, I'm Sherilyn. Sherilyn, not Cheryl. My mother's name was Cheryl, and I'm glad to be rid of that bitch. But you're welcome to stay in Sven's house.
Okay. And Tara kind of looks over at Irvin and is like, my mother's nice.
She sort of leads the four of you away, and most of the houses are dark. A couple of them have like candles in the windows, but the one she leads to you is completely dark. And she gets out a ring of keys and unlocks the front door after climbing onto the porch. Well, the food should still be nice and stocked. We'll talk in the morning. I am very curious as to why you came through Sunhall. It's true. Not many people leave, but not many newcomers come here. Yes, looking forward to talking to you again. And she sort of gestures you all inside.
I'll step right in and kind of tip my head to her as she seems very eager to welcome us into this place.
How does the house look?
The house itself is pretty nice. You go around, you start lighting the candles to sort of see. It looks like it's very well kept. It seems like it's almost like one of those the houses that they show off to the public when they're trying to sell them, with like, the perfect furniture and the cupboards that have just enough food in them to like look nice. And as you're entering in through the house, you look at Cheryl, and you notice she has like these long white gloves on. And as she's still, old lady's still hunched over, she looks in after you and says, I live just right next door, so I'll come check on you in the morning. And she closes the door behind you all, and you hear the lock click. And you hear her footsteps walk off the porch and into the distance.
I'm instantly gonna go to the door and like, can I unlock it, or is it like we're locked in?
There's no deadbolt latch on the inside. There's only a keyhole.
Well,
Did we just get locked in?
Those old folks are a bit forgetful. I'm sure she just forgot to leave the key.
That's awful generous of you.
You feeling a bit spooked, Garlax?
I thought I was in the ride here with that blasted loot of yours. But, now I'm realizing that wasn't spooked at all.
I'm with
Well,
you,
I
Garlax.
don't mind a bit
I
of-
don't like being locked in.
I don't mind an eerie accompaniment to my antics.
Are there any windows or any other? Are there any other ways to get out of this room?
Make an investigation check.
Thanks. Amazing. I'm really good at those. Oh, fantastic. That's a natural one for a 0.
Yes, there are windows.
Oh, holy shit, guys. There's windows. Look at these windows. I'm convinced that this is how we get out.
Is there a said window that has a decent look at that tree that we saw on the way in?
Yes, there is actually. The tree's pretty far away at this point, but you can still see it in the distance.
Would Ermin potentially know, given his background, any significance of pinning a charred doll to a tree with a bit nail?
Make a history check.
All right. $14.
You are familiar with stories of like dolls used to, torture or cause pain on people from a distance. Mostly these stories have to do with hags. You're not sure if the bent nail has any significance or the fact that it's nailed to a tree. You don't know. You haven't heard that specific combination in a story before. But you know that, voodoo dolls and hags have a connection.
You all might see Ermin kind of like begin to take his book out and jot something down really quickly, close it, and then he just sort of shivers.
Wait. Garlax looks out the window. Is she coming back? You all look out after him, and Sherilyn is walking back up to the porch with a torch in hand and her key ring. And she looks in and says, "Oh, can you hear me?" Knocking on the window.
Yeah, we can.
I just wanted to let you know that there's an event tonight. It's called the Birding, and we'd really like you to come. It's right out in the town square over here. You can't miss it.
Sounds like a good time.
What's that?
We're locked in. We can't exactly come.
Oh, that's all right. We'll come get you.
Could you maybe leave the key? So
She
we
walks
can
away.
Come and go as we. Okay. Oh, you know those old folks. They are hard of hearing as well.
This is weird, right? Like I'm not the only one that feels very weird right now.
I'm
This is so weird.
I'm extremely uncomfortable, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Garlax. Stop trying to talk over me with your words.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have so many things to say. Sorry.
6 charisma, baby.
Well, I've seen all manner of weirdness, and this is pretty low on the scale, but there is some to be found here.
Think I can make some coin? Like I wanted.
I don't think there's much coin to be made in here. And I'm starting to think that this was I'm starting to think this was the wrong town to run away to.
Yeah, I'm getting that same feeling.
Afraid you
I'll
might
tell you what,
lose.
it's not good that the animals have left here.
Yeah, I thought I saw some. That's. Is it like winter? Where's like don't animals go out of town for a winter?
You know that they some of you, I should say, know that yes, migration is a thing. But you, as Tara says this, you take a hard listen and you realize that not only do you not see any wildlife in this town, even the insects are completely silent. Like, it's twilight. You would expect there to be a cacophony of frogs and crickets and cicadas and everything, but it is dead silent here.
It's very quiet. I shouldn't be able to hear footsteps.
Ermin waits just the right amount of time and twangs loudly on his sleeve. sour note.
That's pretty good.
And he kind of cackles to himself.
Ugh. I guess that's one way to break the tension. Ugh.
You're welcome.
Insects.
I think I'm gonna go get some shut-eye before this birding. See what they've got for beds in this place.
And Garlax he wanders off into the dark house.
Well, maybe we should all get a bit of rest. We had a full day, after all.
And with that, we will close out the first session of the Garlax Chronicle.